Going.
Hi, everybody.
Go
Hello,
ahead, give your greetings. That's all you got.
Connor Shanahan here.
All right, that's
Alex
good now.
Villafane.
No, Alley Cat, chill.
Alley Cat. Chill.
All right, so
It's been a while,
it's been a while.
I feel.
A week.
Shani hasn't been here in a while.
Shani, you
Oh,
haven't
yeah, I
been here.
came
Why haven't
la-
you been here, Shani?
I was here last time. The last time before last time.
Is that? Yeah, you might have been.
Yeah, I was.
I thought
yeah.
that was one you missed. Okay, you
no,
missed
no,
one before.
I was there.
No.
I remember.
Hey, you're a good teammate though. You
Thanks,
always
dude.
let us know. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, so lots to talk about. Lots of things happening.
Lots of
Everywhere.
controversy.
So back on we always get on this talk somehow with police brutality and
Yeah.
and all that. We always come up with those. So recently in Baltimore, Freddie Gray was taken into custody for having I think he had a pocket knife on him or something. Oh no, he had a switchblade knife, which is illegal. So he was being arrested, and he was clearly audible and conscious going into. They put him in a police van, and when he came out of the van, he was severely injured. Spinal cord was snapped, and he wasn't dead yet, but he was in a coma for about a week, and then he died. So the question was,
What happened in the van?
yeah. So, but there are other allegations that point to he could have already been injured, because you can, when police put down a suspect, they'll put their knee like on their back or near their neck, and it's possible to injure
Her spine?
their spinal cord doing that. So the question is, was he already hurt? Because he was screaming, I guess, when they put him in the van, but he was being belligerent, I guess, and just going crazy. So was he just screaming for that? Was he screaming for medical reasons? He needed a doctor. No one really knows yet, but all it's known is he was clearly the moving and speaking going into the van, and then when he came out of the van, he was severely injured, not moving.
Okay.
So basically, there are 6 officers involved in that arrest, and as of right now, they all got suspended. There's no. They're just releasing. I was reading this morning. They're just releasing all the evidence. They haven't done it yet, but they're supposedly going to soon. But the question is, was there an officer in that van? Like, none of this has been released yet, so no one really knows.
Well, didn't Professor O'Connell say that there had to be a police officer like in the back of the van with him, to escort him to the?
I don't think they had to
Station?
ride, and so that's the other side of it. There was another suspect in the van as well, who said that they were like separated by a metal barrier or something. I don't know exactly how it worked, but he said he heard Freddie Gray like hitting the side of the van and stuff, and it seemed like he was intentionally hurting himself. That was what his assumption.
Really?
That was his assumption.
I never heard that.
No one that
I
was
didn't hear that either.
I just read that this morning.
Wow.
That he was doing it himself?
No. This is what the victim the other suspect who couldn't see him.
It's
heard.
saying about Freddie Gray.
That's what he assumed Freddie Gray was doing. Like, in the moment, he assumed that he was being belligerent, and because the cops didn't, this is the other side of the story, the cops didn't buckle him in, because at the time, this is what one of the officers said, he was being belligerent, and,
They couldn't get.
couldn't control him.
Yeah.
they didn't want to get that close to him and,
Okay.
get bit or,
Mhm.
spit on or something,
Yeah.
so they just let it rock, which the police commissioner said was against policy, like, they messed up there. But regardless, it's not really, like, a terrible
Yeah.
whatever. So I still don't. No one has said that there wasn't a cop in the back, but no one has said there was a cop in the back yet. I don't know why, but no, this hasn't been released yet. But that points to some evidence that if that other suspect.
But was
Not
the
being
other
able to see
suspect
him.
in the front? I'm assuming.
No. They were separated in the back of the
Both
truck.
in the back,
Yeah.
separated by metal.
It was like there was some metal barrier or something. He couldn't see him, but he heard him banging against the truck and stuff.
Oh.
And he just assumed that that's what it. He
Yeah.
was just like, he must be hurting himself.
Yeah, well,
I mean, maybe he was.
Totally could have been, but no
could
one
have,
knows.
but
Don't even know if it's
intentionally
happened.
snapping his spinal cord.
Yeah, I doubt
That's the
that.
other thing,
That's,
though. Could he have had his spinal cord already severely
Severed.
hurt when he was
Yeah, I hear you.
outside? Because he did get dragged to the.
Yeah, but then again, if he's in the car with a severed spinal cord, how's he thrashing around?
Yeah,
and
thrashing
hurting
around.
himself?
How is he not just like
Why is he
laying
not
there,
already laying there?
motionless?
Right. And then the fact that they didn't buckle his seatbelt is another, like,
indicator of how.
Professor
Yeah.
O'Connor
Yeah.
said, like, if there's a guy driving, like,
Criminal
they're not-
justice professor, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
He's the man.
You screwed me up.
Sorry, I had to tell them.
He said the guys who drive those buses and like drive suspects don't really have any regard for whether they're
Oh
bumping.
no,
Like, they're just
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
flying
getting to
around.
point A to point B. They don't
Yeah,
care.
they're not worried about
Yeah,
driving,
they're just
taking it easy.
criminals.
And
in
even
their
if
mind.
they,
Exactly.
the driver couldn't hear him, like in the back.
I don't know. I don't know how those.
Yeah, because
Vans
like I don't
work.
know how it works. Like if they're supposed to like pull over and like
Yeah, I don't know
see
what
what's
the
going
protocol.
on.
Like if there's a guy screaming in the back, but if you scream belligerently the entire
Time, then it doesn't make sense to check.
Okay,
on
so
it.
they don't know if there was or wasn't a cop in the back.
still not released.
How do they not
I just
know
don't. I don't
that?
understand.
I feel
as
like they
a, as a,
know,
pol-
but
as
they're
a
just not
police,
telling us.
They
Obviously,
know. They know. Like the
Yeah,
6
well, that's
officers that were there obviously
yeah.
know, but they just nothing has been released yet.
and I think
That's
that's
the
kind
Which
of
makes it look
that's so
sketchy.
sketchy.
Which
I was
does.
just
Which makes
gonna
it look
say that.
sketchy.
But it
So
did say that. I mean, this is standard protocol to wait to release this though. This is like how it goes, but.
But why
apparently
wouldn't
they're
the
starting
officer immediately upon hearing all this be like, okay, there was this officer in the car with him just to clear everything up? Why would
Exactly.
they let it?
He
Why would they
definitely-
let it get like
he
this?
definitely has to their police department and to whoever he's had to talk to, but they just
Haven't released
they
it to the
definitely
public.
want to get the story completely right before they release it to the public, regardless of if it was Freddie Gray's fault entirely or it was the cop's fault. If they screw something up and have to go back and like cover it up, no one's gonna.
Yeah.
everyone's gonna discredit everything
Exactly.
that they say.
and like obviously what's happened because of this.
Well,
Yeah,
Let's
seriously,
get into
everyone's
that.
been sued.
Well, actually, New York Times just released an article like 3 hours ago about how new evidence shows that they made a stop in between
Yep.
where they arrested him and the police
Did you
station.
find what they stopped for though? Because I saw that. but
It says the new stop just turned out to be a video from a private camera, but it suggests that officers involved had not told investigators about it, which makes
which is
again
another
look
sketch.
like
is
look like
very
they're
sketchy.
trying to hide something,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah,
now
like
they're
why
saying,
would they have stopped?
Yeah, and it's like a huge turning point in the case too, because
It is,
now all the
that's
attorneys
crucial.
are like, okay, well,
Everything's
what
different
was
now.
that undisclosed stop?
Yeah, why'd you stop and why didn't you tell me
Right?
about it?
They could have stopped, did what they did to the
Even if
kid
they- or
or
even if
who
they had to stop
Freddie Gray.
for a real reason, they should have included that.
Absolutely.
And if they didn't stop for a real reason, then that
It just looks like they're
pretty
hiding something
incriminating. Exactly.
a little too much.
So yeah. So. Oh, hold on, let me figure out what we just talked about. Okay. So yeah. So protests started on Monday. Which was what was Monday? The 21st.
Protests, riots.
Well,
Yeah, literally
First it was
riots.
protests.
Okay.
And then it transformed. But it was he was pronounced dead April 19th, and then I think what's today? Thursday?
Thursday
Yes.
the
I think
30th.
30th.
this past Monday, it just went by,
Mhm.
is when they started. And that's when it was bad, Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, they had curfews at 10 p.m. And if you were under, I want to say 21, no, it was definitely minors.
If you were 18,
18.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
If you were what was it?
Isn't it like, wasn't it like 25 or something?
If you were like a minor.
25.
It was weird. If
If
Yeah,
you were a
that's
minor, it
weird.
was like right after school.
Yeah,
like,
it was like 5.
go home
That's what
like
it was. It was
5.
like 5.
And then
I think up to like whatever normal adults.
Yeah.
It was like 10. I don't know what the age was for that.
yeah,
Jeez.
because it got so chaotic.
And they have I'm pretty sure it was 3,000 National Guard and police officers
Really?
like all around.
yeah.
Wow.
3,000.
Did you see the video?
Which video?
Oh, the video
Yeah, I'm
of like
sure there's tons
the
of them.
police officers just like moving backwards
Oh,
as
yeah,
they
they
were
just
just like
walking
throwing
away.
things
Yeah,
at them,
then
rocks
Yeah.
and stuff.
What can you do?
No,
You're just
seriously,
completely
like,
outnumbered.
Yeah, they.
It's an entire
if they try to
city
go
just
in there-
rioting.
If they try to go in there with,
And then what did
force, they're gonna get.
Right.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what did Professor O'Connell say about like how they like just like weren't gonna protect that one street?
Oh yeah, the mayor wanted to. She wanted to give protesters their space to peacefully protest, what she said it for, but then she said, but we also want to limit the destruction to only this area. But she should have never said
Yeah.
limit this destruction.
So like
to
the
only
police
one part of our
officers like
city.
couldn't help people that like lived on that street or
Yeah.
like had
Yeah.
a
So
So
store
it
or
was just-
business
it was
on
a
that street.
free-for-all.
Yeah, that's
Basically,
Like,
how
did you see
ridiculous
you
is
see
that?
The CVS?
Yeah,
CVS got destroyed.
destroyed.
Really?
Yeah, every pill there was gone.
Oh Jesus.
Yep. just gonna go sell them.
Yeah.
Everyone just stole everything.
Literally
Yeah.
everything.
It's
Everything.
unbelievable.
It
It
was
really
crazy.
is. It is crazy.
Unbelievable.
So then there's another aspect of it. Man, I hate when this happens.
You gotta stay on top of that.
Oh, I can't even type it right. Oh my god. So
Tim, you're a mess.
So. Oh my god, I should play on something. I'm all over the place. I don't know what to say.
Just put the password
No,
in.
I didn't have the right password.
How are you, Shani?
I'm hanging out. I'm just waiting for Tim to get his act
I
together.
know. I really gotta get my life together.
Wish his
Okay.
microphone
Alright.
stayed.
I know, it's so annoying.
Mine's pretty good, I'll be honest. But
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is good.
How does everyone be has to like? Anyways,
Back to the story.
So at first, you guys heard how there were gangs coming together,
Oh, I
Yes,
did. I
the
did.
Bloods and
That was
the
actually
Crips.
the first thing I heard about.
and they were like saying, like supposedly they were saying,
were just
like,
gonna attack.
We're putting a hit out on cops, like
Yeah.
we're doing it. In an article I read today, it was a Crip, I'm pretty sure, that was talking to police, and he said he claimed all those were false. They never made any bargain together, any plea together to attack cops, to riot and be violent. He actually said that they wanted to help people. No joke, they were trying to stop the violence. They respected and they agreed with everyone's protest.
Oh, they were trying to
They
stop
were,
it?
I have there were two, I don't know who they were, but they had the check next to their name on Twitter.
Verified?
Yeah, they were verified. They claim that gang members pulled them out of a riot and like got them somewhere where there was no
Wow.
whatever and stuff.
Really?
But there was like a couple accounts of that. But then there are also other accounts of gang members who were saying like, yeah, I'm with the riots, like.
I would just assume that
I'm
like gang members
against
would
it.
want
There's
to
always
be a
gonna-
part of
there's
the
always gonna
riot.
be
And that's
people.
exactly what these guys that were saving these people were saying. They were like, we, what's the quote? Hold on, let me find it. I have it written down. We're not about to allow y'all to paint this picture of us. That was the exact
Preach
quote.
it, Tim.
That was the exact quote that one of the gang.
I mean, I guess I would just assume that they were bad, but maybe they're just like a
Exactly.
brotherhood that.
And then it comes up to this other thing that they said that all these people rioting were thugs. And some guy was trying to say that thug is now the equivalent of the N-word.
Oh, come on
read that?
now.
Did you
No,
read
I
that?
didn't read that.
He
But
was trying to say like calling them thugs is
equivalent
I
to
don't know,
calling, yeah.
just said it was like the worst thing you could say about
yeah,
them.
you know what?
It's the word thug.
Yeah,
Like,
you
are
know.
you kidding me?
People are ridiculous.
I mean, I guess.
That's
But
just
basically-
now is starting a whole nother topic of discussion
Yeah,
and a
that's-
whole nother.
That's just another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that guy's gonna look like an idiot in my
Right.
opinion. But,
Yeah.
but apparently, this whole riot started with a bunch of high schoolers that were they were like blocking off streets. They weren't doing anything that bad, but then I guess it just.
Yeah.
And they're
I can't even believe that the National Guard came.
and it's National Guard. Like obviously they do. They're great. They help and stuff. But like
Yeah, right.
National Guard are not experienced.
They're not
No, yeah,
A
experienced.
lot of them
exactly.
have never. This is the first time they've ever even seen
Experienced
anything.
anything.
Like
Yeah, it's
Cops have
it's
way more
relatively
experience.
easy to join the National Guard.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like a really.
Not trying to put them down.
No,
but
absolutely not. There's
They just don't. They don't.
very qualified National Guard people, but
Yeah, but there's
it's not
also
hard to get into.
They don't have a lot of experience. Is that your stomach?
Yeah, well.
Did I really hear that over the microphone?
Probably.
It might have.
Oh my gosh.
It's hungry, I guess.
That's impressive.
Like, they have no war experience whatsoever.
No.
No, you don't have to have like.
This is
tour
literally what they're for.
duties
They're for when
or-
something
Like this happens.
Right. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, they're trained.
They are. No, they're definitely.
So I
trained.
feel like
Yeah.
they're more
they're not.
qualified than.
It's not like
me and
putting
you,
me
but-
on
Yeah,
the street.
No, of course.
Right.
But still, if you got, it's like O'Connell was telling us about that. Kent State. There was a riot. No, there were protests at Kent State a couple years ago. I don't know how many years ago.
Oh, with the school?
And the
Okay.
National Guard was sent out, and obviously there's kids that get in
Yeah.
their face, hitting them, throwing
And
stuff
then
at
one
them,
guy
and they're
just
supposed
like
to just
yeah,
take it, obviously, and then
Right.
one guy fired,
and that
The rest
everyone
of the
fired.
line fired into the crowd of innocent kids,
Right. Yeah.
because obviously they assume
Yeah.
that guy shot. He must
Because
have
when
a
you're
good
under
reason.
that like pressure and everything's happening,
you're
like,
not going to shoot for your friend, like for someone. You
I
think
guess,
shot.
but at the same time, that was just so
no,
bad.
I mean, the guy who triggered it, that's basically on him.
Yeah,
but-
like this
Right.
college student just in
yeah,
his face.
four kids died.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you just don't know. You don't know how they're gonna react, really. Is what
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
Absolutely.
just sketchy in itself.
Yeah, especially when there's not even riots going on. It's just like college kids doing their thing. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine now today?
Like if they did that at Iona or something.
right?
Like that,
Yeah,
if that
or
happened.
if the Baltimore riots had started like that and cops had started shooting, like
Mhm.
That
it'd
would-
be three
Or even,
times as
even like
worse
the
as it is
Kentucky
now.
riots when they lost, when they didn't make it to national championship.
Yeah.
Those riots were pretty
Yeah,
big.
those
Like,
were pretty. Yeah.
those were real.
No, absolutely.
But so as of right now, they got over 100 car fires. I'm pretty sure it's almost 150
150 what?
car fires in Baltimore,
Oh,
Wow.
and 15. I think it was 15 structure fires, so like buildings.
Wow.
Wow.
So
So that whole city is just getting torn
they
up.
are just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
What happened after the National Guard came? Like, did it?
It's starting to subside. The curfew has really helped, I guess.
Yeah,
There haven't been really as many like riots or like really any riots. There's been like,
I heard it's actually pretty much
The-
calmed down.
and the worst part is though is that the media was all over the rioters, but the rioters was a small part of it. The
Right.
amount of other peaceful protests that went on
They're
outnum-
always like that, though.
outnumbered the
Obviously.
riots. But yeah, they just killed that. It made it look so much worse.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
they're rioting in New York apparently.
Yeah, so
And it's just switched to
that's
other
the next
places.
thing. New York
Where?
has started riot in New York City.
Yeah.
Like, what part?
I'm
Am
sure
did you
there's
read
parts
60 people arrested, or did you not get to that?
You know what? I did not get to
I
that.
want to say it
but-
was 60, but it might have been 9. I know it was really, really
60
off.
or
But
9?
I remember it saying somewhere 60 people were arrested. I remember saying somewhere 9, and I can't remember if it was like.
Well, that's a pretty big,
I know.
I feel like you
remember-
look that up right now.
Okay.
pretty big difference between
Good call,
60
good
and
call.
9.
Cause
But yeah, so they're like everywhere. Denver, Seattle,
Wow.
Right.
DC. A bunch of people have been getting arrested.
It's a national uprising.
And it's not even that they're just like peacefully protesting. They're like doing dumb stuff. Like
Yeah.
blocking traffic.
Mm-hmm.
What is that going to do?
I know.
Yeah.
For
I just feel
your
like even
rights?
if like the cops weren't guilty, they're still gonna think that they're lying about everything. Like, I don't think that like a verdict is gonna change anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Wow. Oh, wow. Over 140 arrested as New Yorkers protested the death of Freddie Gray. That's New York Times.
See? So,
So
yeah.
I was way off.
You were way off on
Wow.
both.
I think that's what I checked
Guesses.
yesterday.
9?
The 60.
9?
No, the 9 I think was like Seattle or
Well,
something.
yeah,
Okay.
well,
I think that's
you know.
what it was.
Yeah, no, well, you were close.
I was on my way.
And they were all
Wow.
protesting that he was like murdered.
Yeah, they want justice because obviously the police haven't been indicted or anything yet or
Yeah.
arrested, but the trial's still.
I just think it's crazy. It's reached so many people, and people have no idea what actually happened.
Uh huh.
Like how it can really
No
affect this
clue.
many people without like any hard
Anything
facts or any
happening.
hard evidence.
No
like,
one really knows the true
so,
story.
yeah,
yet.
it's unbelievable.
Just the fact that he died was enough.
Right.
But
I just feel like a van is also not a good transportation system.
yeah, like they could have just put him in the car. Like I don't know why they
Mhm.
just. It's not like he was a
exactly.
a convicted serial killer rapist.
Rapist.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
He had a
Yeah.
switchblade on-
He's-
I mean, he did it. I read he was in trouble a lot. He had like 20. There's like 20 arrests. All of them were mad small, but like there was
Right.
a couple assault ones and stuff too. So like he wasn't. I'm not saying he was a bad guy, but he wasn't necessarily a good
He
guy.
was
Yeah.
an angel.
Yeah, but apparently right now all he had was a switchblade, and the reason the cops approached him, apparently, allegedly at first, is because when he saw them, he turned around. Apparently that's
Wow.
the only cause to start it. Which I mean, I'm sure they didn't go up to him and be like, "Why'd you turn around?" But probably did something else to look sketchy, and then.
Right. Well,
And
I
he's-
mean, not
I
even.
think
But
that.
even if the
I think he
cop,
already
I
had
don't
a
even know
warrant,
if that's
too.
even
Even
enough
if
to
the
approach
cop,
somebody
like-
No, it's
from
not.
a cop
It's
standpoint.
not.
Because
No,
you know
from
what?
just
People
someone
sometimes
to-
are just uncomfortable with cops.
Yeah.
Not the fact that they have
Yeah.
guns and
You
crack
ask
on
any-
them all
you
the
ask
time.
anyone, almost any person in America, they're gonna say when a cop drives by in the highway, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, I gotta focus.
I just
for a
feel
second."
like, regardless, like if he died from the cop putting pressure on his back or in the van, they're like wrong. Like, how much pressure are you gonna put on
Exactly.
someone's back
Exactly,
to like
yeah.
break their spine?
And especially if the original report was that it was not a struggle, the arrest, that he, not that he was cooperative necessarily, but it wasn't like he was like trying to break free or anything like that.
hurt
Yeah.
anybody.
So at that point, there really shouldn't have been a need. The
to
only
like
time,
put that much
the only
pressure
time
on
they
someone.
knee him like that is when they're like
Yeah.
Need
one
to use
cop-
force.
one cop on a one suspect, and they gotta hold him down, and that's the only way.
Yeah.
They're trying to fight.
Yeah.
So like the
So
whole
I just feel like it's sketchy.
Yeah.
no one actually knows the real circumstances.
Spinal
of
cords
what-
don't snap every day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's definitely excessive.
But no one knows the true circumstances of his arrest. Like no one, obviously people do, but no one really knows the truth. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure plenty of people that saw it there aren't testifying to anything.
Yeah.
But so in I found pretty interesting though. There's this guy, Reverend Jarrett Maupin, I think that's his name, a civil rights activist who organized protests following the officer-involved shooting in Ferguson. And one of the local police departments invited him to go through a no shoot training, like a training exercise to see so he could be put in the shoes of an officer. And the first thing he did was they had this this big guy pose as it. He had like a paintball mask on or something. And there was another cop, and they were they were starting to push each other. And this was the training, obviously. And all of a sudden, the guy just turns and starts walking at this guy who's posing as a police officer right now. And he has his gun out, and he's pointing at him. It doesn't even make a move at him, has no weapon, and he shoots him. The civil rights activist who says cops shouldn't shoot. As soon as the guy started walking to him, he shot him. And he was like, "Why did you shoot?" And he was like, he was getting into that area, my personal area, and he was clearly intended on doing something to hurt me or something intentional. So
what decisions that cops have to make every
exactly,
day.
and then this is what he said after. He said, I didn't understand how important compliance was. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own safety. Because when you're in that position, you have no idea what someone else is going to do.
Exactly.
And if it's you versus them, and you're the one who's getting paid to actually protect people, you're going to take your life over theirs every time.
Absolutely.
So even though all this, obviously the Freddie Gray thing is different, but
I mean, I don't think all cops are guilty. That's not what
no.
I'm saying here. I just think that in this particular situation, it's obviously wrong.
No, obviously it was wrong. And just like the South Carolina one.
Yeah, that was completely wrong too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was.
And a lot of other things happen, but I don't think all cops walk around with a grin on their face for killing people of color. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's safe to say the majority of cops would like to not have to use their firearm in the line of duty.
My dad's a police officer. He has never fired at one person. 20 years on the job now.
Exactly.
Never
Why would you though?
And he's in a not a great town either.
Yeah. You don't want to be in the position where you have to justify whether you shot somebody or not.
And the part about that's crazy is that he's been in a bunch of situations where he was the front guy busting a door down, and one of his partners had to shoot a guy right over his shoulder because he had an axe wound up, ready to come down on him.
Right.
Right over his shoulder.
And not even then did he use his firearm.
And he's never even shot a bullet at a person.
Wow, that's
so
insane.
I mean,
20
because it's unnecessary to use that force when you don't have to.
Exactly, and he would never want to obviously
have that on
him, especially if ended up the guy who shot the guy in the back, even if he just lost it for a second, he got to live with that the rest of his life. Definitely not happy.
And now in jail.
Yeah, and the scrutiny he has to put up with, and just all the things that people are going to say about him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Reputation just tarnished like that.
And all it was a split second of thinking wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
obviously he was wrong, but it's almost hard.
Of someone getting away, he was running away, it was over.
But then it's still almost hard to get mad at them. Obviously get mad at them, but you have to sympathize for them in a way.
Yeah.
It goes both
regardless
ways,
if he messed up,
he was just adrenaline rushing,
oh my god, my life might be on the line. This guy's fighting with me.
Yeah, a lot of people have no idea what they would actually do in their situation.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
People like to think
I would
they
never
do,
be able to be a cop.
No one really knows until they're there.
The decisions they have to make on the spot are
unreal.
Do it.
Yeah.
And having a gun in your hand when someone's
so much
coming
power.
at you, obviously.
2 seconds could mean your life.
Even if you just have your finger on the trigger, the slightest accidental jump, you're gonna pull the trigger.
Just adrenaline, you just twitch or something like that. Yeah.
Which you're actually never supposed to do as a cop. Have your finger on the trigger.
Right. Yeah.
So it's supposed to be up
or
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just that whole with now the cameras and stuff are so relevant. It's just we're never gonna get away with this. I feel like away from this.
Yeah,
topic,
exactly.
Oh yeah, no.
Not get away with.
And I mean, I feel
yeah, absolutely. I hear what you're saying.
No, I feel like that's good though, because things
it is good because I'm
South
sure
Carolina happened, and he would have gotten away free.
I'm sure this has happened plenty of times.
Too many times, and not having it documented.
100%, it's happened so many times.
Hopefully, what this does though is make people who think they're gonna be cops realize maybe I shouldn't be a cop. I'm not ready for that. Whereas, 20 years ago, these people were like, wow, this is a good paying job.
Yeah, that's all it was.
I don't need a
college degree.
That's
all it was. It was a steady salary.
Yeah.
Anyone who wanted to.
When you come out of the academy,
and no one thinks of all the things that come with it.
Yeah.
You get $50,000 or something your first year. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
You can only go up.
People just put themselves there
now
just
this
because
is
they
all
got the
happening.
money.
Hopefully, our next generation of law enforcement are there, because they want to be police officers and they
want to actually serve and protect. All that good stuff.
That's what we need next.
I hear bagpipes. Sorry to.
I do hear those. It's because it's nice out.
there's also probably an event going on. I'm sure there's not people just out there bagpiping.
Well, I mean, maybe they practiced outside. I don't know where they practice.
Oh, well,
Someone said they practice right here,
Who?
around the corner. I don't know. Is there a room past this room?
I don't know. I would love to join.
Actually, I
though.
think so.
Right? If there is, then they definitely practice in there.
Oh,
Kenny, I
in
can't
this
believe that
building?
you're not like in that group.
What?
I could see you like.
I'm not a bagpiper.
I could see you like bagpiping.
No, not me.
No,
I am
you
not
have
a
Irish in
bagpiper.
you?
No, Jimmy is obsessed with bagpipes.
Really?
Yeah.
He wants them. He like told us all. He wants them at his
I
funeral,
think it's so
just in
cool.
case.
Yeah, he's totally the bagpiping type. Okay, maybe not.
Relax.
Yeah, yeah.
Relax.
All right. Anyway, I think we should
Oh,
go for
boy.
a break.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
just did a little break. We really went in on that one.
Anything else?
Did I have anything
No,
else?
I think a break's pretty good right now.
Wrap it up.
I think you just wrap it up, Tim. Stop reading.
All right, yeah, we'll take our break now. We don't have much more
Okay.
right now.
Bye, guys.
We'll be
See
back
you
in
in a little.
few.
Oh man.